What's going on, guys? It's 6'4" Honda. Yeah, you saw me do some crazy shit, son. I'm heading to the dealership right now to buy up a couple parts for my oil change that I'm gonna do myself. This is gonna be my first time working on my bike, technically, like doing whatever for the bike. You just basically gotta buy 4 parts: the oil, the crush washer, the oil filter, and the oil gasket. But yeah, we're going to the dealership. I called them to ask if they had parts, so I didn't waste my time, and they said yeah. And for those 3 parts without the oil, it's gonna be like 30 bucks. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going there, picking that shit up. People were telling me that the 3 parts that they got, or that you need, they paid under $10 for it. But I'm assuming that that was in the States, because here they said $30. I'm just gonna get my shit real quick and bounce. I'll tell you guys how much I paid after I come back. But I'll see you guys after the dealership mission. Peace. Alright, I'm back. It took 2 seconds. $28 and a couple of cents. You're on TV, smile.
So is any this bill we will go for this one?
Sorry?
Any accident this
Yeah.
this one, and you can record everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
It helps.
Oh.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry. Now hook me up with a good deal on a bike. I didn't get the oil there because I kind of still want to check the internet to see which oil is the best for motorcycles. Should have done that before I went to the fucking dealership, but it's too late now. So I'm gonna park at Canadian Tire and I'm gonna go and search for a couple of brands or whatever and see what I can find. The door better be open because I don't got no keys. Are you kidding me? Who the fuck locked this piece of shit? How the fuck am I gonna get the fuck into my fucking house? What's going on, guys? 6'4" Honda. Time for our oil change on the new, well, old 250. What you're gonna need is the oil filter, the crush washer, the gasket, oil, which I think you need 1.6 liters of oil to fill up the CBR 250. It's 10W40 synthetic oil. A funnel, gloves unless you want to get dirty, the keys that came with the bike, a nice beer, and something to put the oil into, and the most important thing, your fucking bike. So what I'm gonna do first is go down here and remove this bolt right there, which is located at the bottom right of the bike, and it leads to the air filter and everything down there. You want to get there too, so that's my first step. That's what I'm going to do. Again, this is the first time doing it, so maybe you do it another way, but this is how I'm going to do it. So now that you have it unscrewed, it leaves you enough wiggle room to get to the filter right here, okay? And this is the screw. I'm just going to leave that in my screw bin. First, before we start anything, make sure the oil is nice and warm. So start the bike for 5-10 minutes, let it warm up, and then you can start your process. Step number 2 for me will be removing this cap right here, the oil cap. Ooh, nice and warm, baby. Yeah, buddy. There it is. nice and oily. I will put that on the side. Now what you want to do is take your oil holding thingamabob and place it right about there. Then you take your 12 millimeters, you unscrew this. Once you unscrew, the oil should leak out. Okay, so it took about 15 minutes to get the oil out. The bolt was tightened way too tight, and I fucking hurt myself doing it. But now the oil is gone, everything's out. I moved the bike to the front, just in case it got messy. I also put some shitty cloth under the bike, just in case the oil spills over the red container. The next step is going to be taking the old filter out and putting in the new filter in the gasket. Now watch out, because when you take this filter out, oil is going to spill even more, and I think if it's on the kickstand, it will spill a little more than usual, so be careful. Next step, grab another fucking beer. Also guys, remember when you remove this from under the bike, this crusher, if I can get it out, anyways, the crusher that's right here, don't forget to replace it with the new one you bought. So now I will be putting something right in here for it to hold the fairing, I guess, like this, so it's easier for me to unscrew. So I'm going to find something to wedge in there. I'm going to unscrew these 4. Alright guys, so I unscrewed the old filter. These are the 4 screws. This is the filter. The filter that they gave me doesn't come apart like this. It's like all one piece. So I guess it's a lot easier to install and shit. Guess what guys? That filter you saw earlier, they fucking sold me the wrong one. I get to my bike and it's completely different. So I call them and they're like, yeah, it's for 600. So I had to go all the way fucking back to the dealership to get this piece of shit. Yeah, back to my house now to finish this fucking job. Now what you guys want to do is put the filter back on with the gasket. And the part with the writing that says towards filter cover, this part is going on the outside. So you're going to put it in like this. It's going to go the same way in how you took it out. So put everything, the spring, make sure you have the spring and all that bullshit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to screw it in right now. Now I promise you guys I'm not an alcoholic, but I used a wine bottle to hold the fairing a little back so I can screw all that bullshit in. But alright guys, putting the filter back on was a bitch. It took me a while. I needed a third hand, so my dad came home and he helped me out with that. To screw in properly, I would say screw in the top left and bottom right, and then the top right and bottom left, and then do it that way. But once that's on, don't forget to screw the bolt under the bike, the 12 millimeter. Don't forget that one. So once you screw that on with the new crusher, tighten it as hard as you can. Then take the oil and start filling it up. I had to put in about 1.6, 1.7 quarts of oil to get it to the top yellow line. Once you have that, let the bike run a little bit. Obviously you screw in the oil cap. I let it run for 5 minutes and I started seeing smoking. So I went online and I was like, what the fuck? And it's cause the oil kind of spilled on the headers and shit. That's why the bike was smoking and it smelled like ass. Because the oil was like fucking boiling up a kitchen. Or a storm, or whatever the saying is. But anyways guys, that's how I changed my oil. And in a 30-minute job, I fucking finished it in like 2.5 hours. So fuck Honda dealerships and West Side. Now this is the spring that came out of the air filter. You're gonna want to pop that right in there I don't even know if you should be doing that.